The forbidden opening, the chess move that sparked global outrage. 32 pieces, 64 squares, 2 players. Chess has captivated players for millennia. It is believed to have originated from the Indian game of chaturanga, which served as a forerunner to the Persian game of chaturang that would spread throughout the Muslim world after the Islamic conquest of Persia. There are several databases of chess games, but most of them are only intended for tournament play. Welcome to Checkmate Enigma, the one-stop channel where you can find everything about chess and the game. In today's video, we will go through the chess moves that are game-changing. Before getting into the video, please share and subscribe to our channel for more videos like these. Also, tap on the bell icon for notifications. Without further ado, let's get into it. Number 15, the King's Gambit. For more than 300 years, the move was a favorite opening. However, in recent years, it has become increasingly polarizing and has mostly lost appeal in the professional game. U.S. Grandmaster and chess prodigy Bobby Fischer stated, "In my opinion, the King's Gambit is busted," in his renowned 1961 piece, A Bust to the King's Gambit. By force, it falls short. A game known as the Immortal Game that took place in London in 1851, however, is where the move first gained notoriety and earned its place in chess history. Adolf Anderssen, a top player from Germany, checkmated Lionel Kieseritzky with just 3 minor pieces after sacrificing both rooks, a bishop, and his queen. Number 14, Scandinavian Defense. Another old opening, the Skaks d'Amour, or Chess of Love poem from 1475, mentions it as the center counter-defense. Francesc di Castelvi and Narcís Vinyoles, 2 poets from Valencia, imagine Mars and Venus playing chess using rules created by Mercury. This is the first game known to have been played under the current chess rules. It gained prominence again in more recent times thanks to Danish Grandmaster Bent Larsen's deployment of it in Montreal in 1979 when he faced off against world champion Anatoly Karpov. Number 13, Edward Lasker's stunning queen sacrifice for mate. A memorable match between Edward Lasker and George Allen Thomas took place in London in 1912. Edward Lasker was a 5-time U.S. Open champion and a friend or distant relative of former world champion Emanuel Lasker. Thomas's error with 10 marks the beginning of the fabled King's Search. Black's kingside has been crippled, Lasker has the upper hand in development, and his minor pieces control the center. Lasker discovered a brilliant queen sacrifice in this situation that necessitated checkmate in just 7 moves. Number 12, King's Indian Defense. This opening move is referred to as a hyper-modern move, which derives from the chess school that emerged after World War I to counter the theories of Central European masters. Here, Black knowingly allows White to use their pawns to control the center. Both the move's recent decrease in popularity and its subsequent comeback can be attributed to Russian Grandmaster Vladimir Kramnik, who developed tactics against it to defeat Kasparov in the 1990s, leading many players to give up on it. Kramnik later used it successfully on the black side in 2012, however, and this is where the move's popularity has since risen. Number 11, an amazing bishop endgame. Due to the fact that it is the only study and the position was not created by a game of 2 players, the bishop endgame on this list is special. The Harold van der Heyden Endgame Study Database 4 states that P. Hoyaker wrote this study, which was then published in New Free Press in 1930. This appears to be a dull and equal ending at first glance. It appears as though Black may simply move their e-pawn and, with their dark-squared bishop on d4, control the queening square for White's h-pawn indefinitely. When you present Stockfish with this argument, it first accepts it and displays an evaluation of 0s, but in reality, White should move and prevail. Finding the first move isn't too difficult, but it's the 4th move that really amazes me. Number 10. Ruy Lopez. In honor of the 16th century Spanish friar Ruy Lopez de Segura, one of the most well-liked chess openings is named after him. The Queen's Gambit and other moves that can be seen in his 1561 book Libro del Ajedrez, or Book of Chess, were previously found in the renowned Göttingen manuscript. Due to the difficulty for black in obtaining equality, the play, in which white's third move targets the knight, is also known as the Spanish torture, and has been used by practically every top player during their career. Number 9. Bora's Desperado Sacrifice. In the 1982 match they played in Yugoslavia, Bora had the white pieces against Parik. The queen and rook of Bora were both hanging and he was down 2 pawns. It seems nasty, but what other option is there when rook captures a1 is knight captures d4? Bora demonstrates this to us. A desperate queen sacrifice taking place on an unoccupied square is uncommon, and it's even more exceptional when it succeeds. Before we move on, for more interesting content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon to receive notifications whenever a new video is posted. Number 8. Scotch Game. The Scotch Game was first played as a correspondence match between London and Edinburgh in 1824, during which letters containing the moves were sent back and forth. The move was initially described in 1750 by Modenese master Domenico Ercole del Rio in his book Sopra il Giuoco degli Scacchi, Osservazioni pratiche di Anomino Autore Modenesi, but it actually existed before that match. Many grandmasters, including Kasparov, have used the move to block the Ruy Lopez, another well-known move. Number 7. Geller's Rook and Pawn Endgame. The first move in the top 5 is I.M. Danny Wrench's personal favorite, and he is the chief chess officer of Chess.com. In the 1949 USSR Championships, GM Efim Geller played black against GM Salo Flor, and they eventually came to the rook and pawn endgame that is seen below. Geller is ahead by 1 pawn, but his rook is under attack. His additional pawn on a4 could be lost if he permits white to capture the e5 pawn with a check. Number 6. Albin Counter Gambit. Adolf Albin, a Romanian chess player who used it in a match against German world chess champion Emanuel Lasker in 1893, is credited with giving this opening move its name. Despite being named after Albin, the clever move was actually played for the first time 12 years earlier in 1881. Number 5. Vladimirov's Thunderbolt. In the 1986 World Championship match against GM Anatoly Karpov, Evgeny Vladimirov, a player of the highest caliber at the time, played for GM Garry Kasparov. He ought to be remembered most for the move he made in 1987 against GM Vladimir Epishin, which led to the situation after Epishin's queen captured b3. Recapturing the queen looks more than rational, and more than 99.99999% of chess players would probably make that choice. While A captures b3 gives white a substantial edge, C captures b3 is approximately equal according to Stockfish. Vladimirov, on the other hand, had other ideas, and he discovered the one move that instantly wins. Number 4. The Four Knights Game. The move is a part of the open game, a play that starts with e4 and e5 and employs the develop knights before bishops approach. Prior to the First World War, the strategy, which involved inserting the knights into positional play, was widely used. Number 3. Marshall's legendary move. The move Frank Marshall made in this game is unquestionably the best move he has ever made. Frank Marshall was renowned for his amazing attacks and strategies. At the 1912 Breslau tournament, Marshall played black against Stefan Levitsky, and after Levitsky 23, the following position was reached. Although black has a number of plays that could help it keep the lead, one of them stands out in this scenario. One of those maneuvers that rapidly sticks in people's recollections is this one. It is unforgettable to position a queen on a square where it can be grabbed so frequently and still come out on top. Number 2. English opening. This flank opening is named after the English chess player Howard Staunton, who employed it to defeat Pierre-Charles Fournier de Saint-Amand in 1843, causing a major upset. The movement really took off in the 20th century. It is regarded as a reliable opening and has been utilized by players like Bobby Fischer and world champion Garry Kasparov. Number 1. The Queen's Gambit. One of the most traditional chess openings is the Queen's Gambit. It was used in 32 out of 34 games in the 1927 World Championship match between José Raúl Capablanca and Alexander Alekhine. It was mentioned in the Latin source from 1490 known as the Göttingen manuscript. It is often referred to as the Aleppo Gambit in recognition of Philip Stamma, an Aleppo native who in 1793 published The Noble Game of Chess. That's all for today. Which move do you think is the best? Express your thoughts in the comment section. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. We will see you in our next video. Until then, bye! Also, spend some time watching other videos on the channel.